actually enjoy treating your customers like a piece of shit, because that's how I felt when I went to the Alamo Draft House. Okay? You know what? I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to text in your little crappy-ass theater. It was too fucking dark in that place for me to find my seat, alright? I was using my phone as a flashlight to get to my fucking seat. So excuse me for using my phone in USA, the United States of America, where you are free to text in a theater. I was not aware that I couldn't text in your theater, all right? I've texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing on my fucking phone, all right? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys obviously were being assholes to me, and I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually polite. And, you know, I'm going to tell everyone about how you are. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being on purpose. So thanks for making me feel like a customer. Thanks for taking my money.
It's chocolate. You should be very proud, Detective.
Shut up.
You've made a delicious life for yourself.
Said shut the fudge up! Why?
You don't come near here. You stay away from here.
Here he comes.
What?
Are you listening, David? I was saying how much I admire you and your ice creams. You have incredible taste in fine ice creams.
What the fudge did you just say?
6 delicious flavors. They're so lovely. And once they're gone, David, they're gone.
David, step away from the prisoner. Step away, David. Step away.
What's in the box?
I'm not gonna tell you until
What's in the box? What's in the box?
We each have our weaknesses. And it appears that gluttony is my sin of choice. And you add the mystery. I couldn't resist.
What's in the malted fudging box?
It's empty, David. It's empty.
No. It was full. 6 delicious flavors. Only available this month.
I know. It was delivered to your home. It was delectable.
Do you think anybody's gonna get, like, offended by this?
Just tall white Karens.
The friend and a sister of ours, Lovern Gordon, with her book, The Legacy He Left Me. We are looking absolutely forward to invite each and every one of you to her very, very special book signing and community resource sharing. Love, Spring, and Books, gonna be an event for you. Make sure to mark your calendar. April 19. It is a Saturday at 3 o'clock here at Dr. Ellie Perry's Social Bookstore and Ice Cream Cafe. We are located at 278 Main Street in Brockton. We are the very first of its kind social impact bookstore and ice cream cafe aiming.
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel. a knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
The Greening the Gateway Cities program provides trees that are planted by DCR foresters and crews hired from local communities. When you sign up as a potential tree recipient, a forester will visit your home or business to determine the best location and species of tree for maximum energy efficiency. Easy care instructions are provided, and it's all free. Find out if you are in the zone and learn more at maurbancanopy.org.
If we're honest, who wants to roll less travel? It's harder to teach us. Who wants the difficult route?
If you support safety in our schools, you will support the National Guard to come in here and keep our students safe.
People say, these students have changed. These students are lazy.
Your children aren't learning disability, they lazy.
Get students engaged so they don't want to skip classes, they want to be in their classrooms.
There are teachers in this profession who should not be teachers. There are teachers in this profession who don't care about children.
These students don't want to learn. No, the adults have changed. See, the parents don't have the back of the teachers.
He ain't slow. He ain't got no learning problem. His parents didn't give him a foundation.
Young people as a nation, we sorely need the depth and breadth of your intelligence, character, and also your clarity.
I think about, in particular, the history of people that look like me who are getting cheated.
So if you're asking me right now as an educator, what's wrong with these kids? There's nothing wrong with them.
Teachers are the most important people in the world.
They're whimpering in fear, and we're sitting here scared of them.
Because if they get it right, they'll change the world because they're in charge of the most important resource, and that's our children.
Shaolin shadow boxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of REITs Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, Two Lives at Once. And with every wreath you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. Two Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, two lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to REITsAcrossAmerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's REITsAcrossAmerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
Hey guys, my name is James, but everybody calls me JJ. I'm 42 years old and I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. Achieving this milestone is huge for me because I have wasted a lot of years of my life. You know, I struggled with addiction for years. I've been in and out of incarceration. So as far as accomplishments and milestones go, I don't have too many. So accomplishing this for me is huge. I mean, it's one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, and one of the things that I'm definitely the most proud of. Well, I had been thinking about getting my CDL for a while now, but as somebody who was released from prison not too long ago, the cost of the school was way more than I could afford. This program has given me a chance to build a career that I can actually support myself with and be proud of. It might take me a little bit longer than the average person to land a job because of my record, but I'm not going to give up. All I need is one person to say yes, and I'll be able to build on that and get some experience and go to the next level. Huge shout out to Emerge program and my two coaches, Cody and Eric. Why wouldn't you choose Emerge? I mean, not only do they pay for all the costs of the school and other costs such as, RMV fees, DOT fees. You may also be eligible to get a stipend at some point, but all that aside, just the level of support and encouragement is second to none. I mean, I can call or text my coach at almost any time of the day, and if he doesn't respond, he's getting back to me the next day. It's just reassuring to know you have people on your team that want to see you succeed. So I literally cannot think of one bad thing to say about Emerge, and I would recommend it to anyone who is interested in getting their CDL. I think that programs like this are monumental in reducing the amount of recidivism that we have in this country. People who have made a lot of mistakes but have done a complete 180 and changed their lives. And the things that I did in the past, that wasn't me. That's not the person that I am today. So I believe that people deserve second chances if they want to do the work and really want to change. And programs like this are huge because, especially if you're just getting released from incarceration, a lot of these things aren't feasible because of the costs. So when you give somebody this, hope and opportunity, it's huge, because if they really want to change, they're going to take it and run with it. So I hope that programs like this continue, because people deserve second chances, and I'm grateful. I'm super grateful.
Master Yoda I am. And listen you must to HulaZoo.com.
Tanaka no Oyabun. 胸に一持つ終わりのご様子。ぜひ本音をお聞かせいただけましょう。
今日ここで起きちまった間違いなことだよ。石井の姉さん。わかんだろうよ。あんたのことだよ。アイヌクがチャイニーズのアイヌクアメリカ人にイランにしまったってことだよ。
私の真剣な気持ちをご理解いただくと、ここから英語で話します。As your leader, I encourage you from time to time, and always in a respectful manner, to question my logic. If you're unconvinced a particular plan of action I've decided is the wisest, tell me so. But allow me to convince you, and I promise you right here and now, no subject will ever be taboo. Except, of course, the subject that was just under discussion. The price you pay for bringing up either my Chinese or American heritage as a negative is, I collect your fucking head. Just like this fucker here. Now, if any of you sons of bitches got anything else to say, now's the fucking time! I didn't think so. 今日はこれまでにしましょう。
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
You like some motherfucking action heroes in it. Yeah.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is the proof.
Into the twisted mind of my literature, designed to get into the depths of your mind, administer sickness around to mimic the likes of snuff cinema. What you must get into, you're nothing but pups. Remember you Homer and Happy Simpson, son. Nothing Ithaca. Talkers like the northern half of Korea's peninsula. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister.
All right, it's your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. Thank you for tuning in with us. A big thanks to all the supporters. We see you. And last week I had recording artist Veana Marie on the show, Remi Jones on the show, Lovern Gordon on the show. It was a great show. Good time had by all. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me get into my sponsors real quick and then get into my guy up here in the upper left-hand corner. Michael Douglas Barretto, if you need your Xbox controller fixed, if it's drifting, get it out to this guy, MDB Electronics. 24 to 48 hours, you're back to gaming. Also, Veana Marie's album, It's Personal, that was her last project. Her new project is going to be blacklisted. Her last project was at 494,000 streams. Let's push those to 500,000. It's still available now on all streaming sites everywhere. Tactical target systems. Those are those targets that you see me when I'm at the range. Those giant zombie targets. Tactical Target Systems, reach out to them. And they've got other targets there too. They don't just have zombie targets, they have other targets there. So if you want to go check them out, check out tacticaltargetsystems.com. And then I Love Boston Sports, Marlon Williams, Black-owned business. I Love Boston Sports right now is pretty popular with their Please shirt. Make sure to check them out. And then Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Ladies, if you want to take some photos that you never thought you would ever take of yourself, reach out to Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. And then Black-owned business, Underwatch Protective Services, Mobile Patrol, Foot Patrol, Armed Guards, Unarmed Guards, Event Security, Private Security. Reach out to my man, Daryl Smith, CEO, Underwatch Protective Services. And then lifelong friend of mine, Larry Simmons. Call Larry for handyman services, 774-826-6549. He did some stuff around the house here for me. Also, reach out to him at that Gmail that you see below. And then before we get in to the news booth, we do have a news booth rest in peace to start off the show. Pope Francis, 88 years old. Rest in peace to Pope Francis. And I see a lot of people talking a lot of crap about Pope Francis. And here's the thing. Y'all got it twisted. Y'all got it backed up. Pope Francis came in after the Pope who was involved with the scandal for the children. Pope Francis was the guy they brought in to clean up the Catholic Church, to clean it up. That's why he was so progressive. That's why he had all these views on lesbians and gays. They brought him in to clean up that mess. People seem to forget that the Pope prior to him, they did some gangster shit. When that shit was going down with all that molestations and it was popping up and Cardinal Law was here, was going to have to testify, the Vatican came in here in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. and the feds were coming to question him. I don't think the feds were ever going to question him because I think they were scared. I think the feds were scared to question him because if they weren't scared, they would have went to the Vatican and extradited him, Cardinal Law, back here, and they didn't have the balls to do that. So they came in here in the middle of the night, landed at Logan Airport, and swept Cardinal Law off of here and brought him to the Vatican so he wouldn't have to testify. That was some straight religious Sopranos gangster shit right there. I'm just saying, that's gangster shit. Come in here in the middle of the night and fly this man back to the Vatican, give him a big religious FU, knowing that they wasn't going to the Vatican to extradite the Pope back here. No. So, rest in peace to Pope Francis. He was the guy they brought in. He did a damn good job of cleaning up the Catholic Church after this scandal. Because that scandal, Matt, you remember, that scandal almost killed the Catholic Church. They had to sell off tons of properties around the world to pay out people. Catholic Church dropped off for a while. For a while, Catholic Church numbers dropped off. It was a crazy situation for them. And, the Catholic Church was able to bounce back. And, one of those reasons why is because of Pope Francis. Pope Francis came in and instilled values and beliefs back into the Catholic Church. So rest in peace to Pope Francis. Sad to see, 88 years old. And hey, everybody, stop all the friggin' memes and the jokes. Look, last week, J.D. Vance dropped the trophy for Ohio State when they visited the White House. Okay, you can bust his balls for that, but it's shitty timing that J.D. Vance was the last guy to go over and see the Pope on Easter Sunday. But sharing these memes and stuff and making jokes about J.D. Vance and his death there's some things that I think crosses the line. And I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's something to laugh about because, the Pope was in ill health. We almost thought we lost him 2 months ago when the pneumonia took over. We thought we were going to lose him then, and he was able to hold out till Easter. And for those who are making jokes, you got to realize something. Some of us believe in the higher power, and the fact that this man lasted to perform his last sermon on Easter Sunday, and then he passed away, I wouldn't be making no jokes right now, people. That's just letting you know. There's no jokes to be made.
He was driving in the car. Like he was like me or you driving in the car. And then, it's like, then, like you said, he's gone the next day, but like the power in him that I believe in that, like got him to that last sermon, like you said.
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. People need to stop, bro.
That's that's
karma's
disrespectful.
a real thing. Bad karma is a real thing, man, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a guy that believes in karma, and I have my beliefs in God. I battle my beliefs with God from time to time, but I do believe, I am a hard believer in karma. Oh man, I've seen karma bite so many people. Yep. So I'm not messing around with that foolishness of JD Vance, being the last guy to see him and this, and don't even put that bad mojo on me. Also, in the other top story here that I got to mention, find this kid. Why have we not found Davinci Leonard yet? This kid committed a double murder in Brockton. There's no reason why the Brockton police haven't broken down someone's door yet and got this kid. Turn this kid in. And in other news involving this story, Brockton lawyers are now claiming that the trampoline park Urban Air didn't follow safety plans before the double fading shooting. Now we're hearing more about this story. The fight with this young boy, well, he's 18, but the fight with this kid started in the line. So this is why they're blaming. And I see a lot of people up in arms and, hey, this is no different than the 90s when clubs were being blamed for shootings in the club for playing gang, violence music or rap music. This is why, as a DJ, I carry insurance just for this reason. So nothing happens and nobody can sue me. But, there was a time where if you had a club where you allowed the mosh pit and people started getting injured and they started suing the clubs, and here's what happens. These are the things that snowball. This is normal for them to file a suit and say they didn't follow safety plans. And I get it. It sucks because the kids that got shot, his mother is the manager of Urban Air. So it's tough to file that knowing that she lost her son. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And then the reason why I got this man on in the upper left-hand corner, yesterday, congratulations to everybody who competed in a beautiful day to run this Boston Marathon by the Boston Athletic Association, 26.2 miles. And you know what? It was a great day. And hey, once again, the wheelchair winner took home his 8th title. And once again, the Kenyans come here in 70 degree, 60 degree weather, and they just dominate. Hey, y'all from Boston or whatever, hey, y'all need to go to Kenya for a year and practice in that 120 degree heat so you can come back here.
Educate, man. Educate. Like, bro, I read books on these people. I actually, I'm getting serious into this, man. Like, I read books on these individuals. They have villages, they have towns dedicated to these individual athletes where they train year round, and they train with no shoes, no socks, no nothing. And they're very respected in the villages, and they take it very, very seriously. So those people running those 2 hour and 4 minute times, that's absolutely amazing for a marathon. It's not like a walk in the park.
Yeah, in order to beat them, you got to train like them. It's like, it's like Rocky 3. You gotta get back. You gotta get back to the dirt and the grind and get the eye of the tiger. You got to go to Kenya. You can't be running and practicing and training in the seaport area all year long, and your toughest thing is running in the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna beat the Kenyans like that. You gotta go to Kenya. You gotta get into that mentality and mindset. Because if you think about it, if they're coming here, and like you just said, Mattie C, who's MattieC's Sports, and Mattie has been getting real serious into running and training. And as I talked about it on this show before, right now we're focusing. Our goal is for Mattie to run this Boston Marathon. Originally, Mattie had said, no. When I said it, I says, Matt, you're doing a good thing, man. And you're going to get to this point where you run these 5Ks, you run these 10Ks, you're running all these Ks, but eventually there's going to come a point in time where you're going to qualify and you're going to get accepted into running this Boston Marathon. Don't force that off to the side and say it's not going to happen, because it has to happen. So I'm going to let Mattie speak on this. You've been posting. What's the deal now, Mattie? What are your thoughts on the Boston Marathon now?
bro, Saturday was just like, I can tell you right now, Keith, and this is honesty. I have never watched the marathon from 11 a.m. till about 5 o'clock when they just stopped airing. Even though Channel 5, Fox, or more Channel 5, they usually keep the marathon going on. I was watching that stuff too. I have never been so attentive to see different people running and people seeing their styles and to me, it was amazing. But at the same time, I wasn't mad, but I was like, damn, like if I put the training I'm doing now and into half marathons, if I give that like 2 or 3 more years into progressing into a full, like, bro, like the sky's the limit. Like the people that were on that course proved to me that it's possible. And for me, I definitely am taking running very serious now, because it's totally changed my mental health. It's helped me tell people about mental health and not staying in, I say this all the time, being in the dark watching shows. And, I had a struggle myself where I was so sick that all I watched was Family Feud. No offense to Steve Harvey, love the guy, but I watched that shit every single second, bro. Like Game Show Network, Family Feud, because I was sick, but got out of it. Got with you guys, did all our thing. We're doing big things, everybody. And now, like, running's not a game for me. It's a lifestyle, and I love it, man. So, like, when you put out, it was one of the first things you said was a Boston Marathon thing, and then it just went in the back of my head. Nah, whatever. Yeah, I don't. But like going back into it, bro, I was just like, Keith knew something, and I was like, damn, like this is gonna happen. The training's gonna happen. The hard work's gonna happen. 14 miles is gonna turn into 16 to 18 to 20 to 26. But small steps. I'm not going. Like that's what people don't understand. You don't go into a year and just do it. This isn't freestyle stuff. This is a serious game. You're dealing with, mentally. How are you going to be at the 18th mile? How are you going to be with water? How are you going to be with, like, I was amazed by people with the friggin' water, man. Like, nobody had the vests on. Nobody had nothing. And I was like, damn, bro, like these people are straight up gangsters right here. But like with the whole running thing too is like, I saw people struggling, and that's hard for me to see, the people struggling. Some people I don't appreciate laughing about that, but like, you don't know how hard some of those people train to get to that spot.
Man, bro. I know someone that volunteered at the finish line, and some of the stuff that they told me that happens to the human body when you get to that finish line. There are people who have crapped on themselves and just kept running. There are people. This is some serious stuff. And, there was a runner yesterday who did collapse at the line but dragged himself across. And these are human stories of determination, people. This is 26.2 miles. I saw someone on my page. He's a friend. He ran. He apologized to everybody because he said he thought his knees were up for it. And he said about mile 16, his knees was like, yeah, you should have never. He said he had to walk the rest. He said he was done. He said he had to walk the rest. And then, people like, it's, hey, there's no shame if you got to walk the rest. At least you finished. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. I heard Romero on Hot 96.9. He ran the marathon, and he was like, he ran it once, and he was like, never again. And Romero's in good ass shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
He's
is.
in good ass shape. So he was like, he ran it once, and he ran that in New York, I believe, but he was like, never again. It's a life-changing experience. And
but that's my thing, is how the bleep is the guys on Channel 5. You're anchoring and doing news all day. How do you have time to train for the marathon and have a really good time? Like that guy on Channel 5 had like a 2-hour and 50-minute run. I was like, bro. And then you interview yourself. That's an ultimate podcaster right there.
But that's that dedication. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's got great stories leading into this, but there's so many runners, so there's so many stories to find and be able to put out there. And, Mattie, we want you to be one of those stories. We want to be like, yeah, this is a guy who had this, he started this sports podcast to help with his mental health, and we just want to be able, then he started doing these, the smaller runs for these causes, but eventually the light clicks, and then you say, hey, I got to do this on a grand scale just to challenge myself. And now you're linked up with another person in the South Shore Flyers, and Mr. Cawley, and it's great stuff. I think, like I said, we're there for support. We're ready for you to train and get real serious, whatever you need. We're here. We're gonna be at that finish line. We'll be along the route. You hear the stories. You see people who run, and one of the things I heard Romero say is like, everybody thinks when they come out, hey, this isn't that bad. He's like, and they're going real fast. And he said, like, when you get to that 16, 17, 18, then you're like, oh.
Your mind is tripping with you, bro. That far. I mean, I haven't made it to that point yet where it's got to me. Like I said in one of my posts about when I just ran Vermont, physically, I was fine. I felt great with the physicality of it. Sometimes the mentality, when you're not feeling it, I wasn't going to race that day, and just took it all I could and did my best half marathon yet. So you just got to believe in yourself, man. You really do. And like, I'm trying to coincide with different mental health things to be as an advocate for people to, say that you can manage this stuff and it can happen, but if you work at it like you work with running, you'll help yourself and you'll help others. And that's what I'm trying to do as well. So
we used to walk. We used to do the Walk for Hunger every year. And that Walk for Hunger is part of the course. And that was 20.1 miles, the Walk for Hunger. And I'll tell you right now, we did it every year when we were younger. And I'll tell you that was hard. Walking the 20 miles was hard. So I could only imagine what 26.2. And, if I was to ever train, one of the things I've always heard is Heartbreak Hill is where that's the test. That's where the drop off is. And people say, if you keep that in your mind, that's what you need to get past. Don't think about anything before Heartbreak Hill. The key is getting past Heartbreak Hill. Once you get past Heartbreak Hill, it's pretty much okay. You got this. Let's really focus now and finish this race, because that's Heartbreak Hill is where everybody gets destroyed.
Well, this is my thing too, is for people that do not realize what 26.2 actually means. It's not just a number. Now, you think about going from central Massachusetts and Hopkinton. Now, a lot of people don't know where Hopkinton actually is. I live near there.
Off of 495.
Off of 495. You're right. So you're running from there to all the way to Boston, right in front of Copley
Square.
Like the Boston Public Library. That's how far you are. Like, bro, that is an amazing accomplishment. I don't care if you walked there. I don't care if you crawled there. I don't care. Like, amazing to the runners, really. And it's coming. It's coming.
And no joke.
A lot of practice.
People. No joke. You got to train like these Kenyans. Like he just said.
Oh, Keith, I will tell you too.
Yep.
I will tell you too. The one thing I could not do in race is going a mile in those boots you had to walk in, bro. I don't think I could do that.
Domestic violence. No,
yes, I'd break my ankles, bro.
You think about that, though. The Kenyans, like you said, they're training barefoot. They're training in these conditions, right? So now they come here. They come here to race this race. Now you got socks and shoes, cushion your feet. You come here, and it was 37 degrees in the morning, maybe 40. And then by race time, it was like 47. Mid-race, it was a comfortable 60. If you've been running 100-degree, that 60-degree ain't nothing. That keeps you going. That keeps
what
you
was the starting
going.
weather?
It was 39 when people were starting to line up. It was 39 degrees that morning.
I'll talk about temperature after you're done.
So it has to work into that, correct?
Yes. So I will tell you right now. So when everybody says, "Oh, it's cold, bundle up, do your thing, whatever," like for a running standpoint, when you're running an actual pace and doing what you need to do, 39 degrees is perfect, man. Just thermal, thermals with you. And then dude, I've gone to it to where I'm wearing just a long sleeve shirt. It's just some people have the mentality of the running part of it. It's with your body heat, really. Because if you know you're gonna run hard and train hard, like sometimes it doesn't matter. Like now, if it's 19 degrees and I need some gloves, I know what weather I need. I know what stuff I need to wear. So for them, I'm sure it was like a coastal breeze. It was nice for them. And you know what? And I give I give Mother Nature props this year because usually it's cold as fuck. It's raining, it's windy, it's terrible out, but it was beautiful for yesterday. That was great yesterday.
They ran into good weather. So yesterday's race, it was perfect. They ran into great weather and closed out with great weather. You know, and once again, it was just a big, huge festivity. You know, a lot of people come into town. It was great to see. Once again, you know, there's a home Red Sox. It's a beautiful day always because you have the Celtics the day before, usually playoffs, and then, you know, the Red Sox always play a home game on the day of the marathon. So, you know, it's always good to see that Patriots Day game at Fenway Park. So it's usually jam-packed in the city of Boston. And then to make matters worse, it was also the 250th celebration of the Paul Revere ride. So that was brought people into town too. And you know, it was just sheer amount of people there. And they have their big carbohydrate dinner the night before. Everybody meets at the tent and they have that big dinner to pound down. And for those who don't know, Matty, why do they pound down the carbohydrate? I'm gonna let you explain.
Because you got to charge up the night before. You honestly do. Because, well, for me personally, like, I don't like to eat anything crazy before a race. Like, you want to put in the carbs real, like, I myself carb it up too. Like, I eat a shit ton of pasta. Like, I could eat the whole pan if I really wanted to. And with that being said, like, you load up the night before, then, you know, you have a light breakfast, like a bagel, or like, so I used to not like bananas. I love bananas now. So I'll have like 2 or 3 of those and then, like, you know, do your business. Cause like before the race, like, you want to be ready. Like, you make sure everything in your body is aligned. Like, you better go piss because you don't want to ruin your times on that. And just be ready to go. Like, and eating is very important, and especially in training too. Like people say, oh, well, you know, a 5K is easy. And I'm like, okay, have you done it? Like, I eat the same way I would do a half marathon. Like, so, I mean, I personally think that nutrition is very important. I used to not take care of myself nutritionally. Now, doing much better with that too. So it's good to be ready in the sense of carbing up the night before and having something light. And usually I don't like to eat heavy after, but, you know, still eat pretty good. But I would suggest, like, carbo load, really slow down in the morning, and then you could be. I don't get how people drink after races, man. I really don't. I'm fucking tired as can be, excuse my language, but they're drinking beers and slamming them down like right after a race. I'm like, bro, how are you doing this? Like, my stomach hurts from running this right now.
One of the things I did see, you know, I didn't know about is you see a lot of runners at the end of the finish line, people greeting them and coming up with the pickle juice, because pickle juice keeps you from cramping up. It's a natural electrolyte. Pickle juice is an amazing natural electrolyte. So tell people, you know, to keep from cramping, bring that jar of pickle juice and drink that pickle juice. I can't drink regular pickle juice. I'd have to have bread and butter pickle juice. Then I hate pickle juice.
Keith, I hate pickles, and I always say pickles are the devil's food, but pickled juice, I'm down for. Like, I'm cool with that.
Great stuff.
Ashley thinks I'm out of my mind.
So what do you think? So you're studying now. You're really reading up. You've got a great guy, Mr. McCauley. What do you think your realistic goal is? Maybe 2 or 3 years out for this?
So it's 25 year between 2027, 2028. One of those two.
Okay.
I really want to get it in there. I'm sure I'll run my goal this year is to finish 6 half marathons in all of New England.
Okay.
So I got Vermont down right now. I got, excuse me. Yeah, Rhode Island next month, and I'll have New Hampshire at the end of the year. Working on Connecticut in Maine. So, in Massachusetts, I think I already qualified. So, yeah, so we're going to try to finish New England this year, then probably do a little bit more the year after and get some sort of marathon, whether wherever it may be. But
cool.
We're moving
and
along.
You're looking for some support from, to help with mental health. Let's speak on that real quick also.
So I have had a lot of good ass people in my, what I call my tribe. Now that's people including yourself, including Travis, part of our show, including fighters that I've met throughout this, 3 great medical people that I've had that really helped me out. And for guys out there, man, don't be mad or upset or ashamed of yourself that you either have a therapist or you have to take anything or you have to do anything for men's health. Like that don't mean nothing that you're asking for help. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, living in the dark, watching TV. Yeah, I did it. It doesn't do anything for you. It makes it even worse than ever. And now I hate Family Feud, but nothing to Steve Harvey, like I said. But again, in all seriousness, like running is probably one of the best things that saved my mental from that. And I'm happy. I'm doing my thing, and I got a realistic goal I think I can do, and other people can too. And I'm trying to spread that word however I can. So just believe in yourselves and stay out of the dark, because watching TV and being on your phone all day don't help nothing.
We're going to be here to support you. Like I said, 2-3 years when this goes down, we're going to be there. We're going to be there to support you, and we can't wait. We can't wait to have you on. You want to stay on and talk some?
Absolutely. Can we get we need to talk to our Boston police and have the slingshot be at the finish line for me.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Me and Joopy might be standing there waiting for you to come across, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna let me have the slingshot there at the finish line.
You can only dream, Keith, right?
Yeah, I know. We were. I'll be getting into it in the entertainment booth, but it was nice to be able to have that roll up for Veana this weekend. So it was great stuff. I got some topics tonight that I got to chop up. You want to hang out and talk some topics tonight?
Let's chop them up, man.
All right, so let's get back into the social media.
At MattieC23 is my main thing on Instagram. You can follow me on Matt Cameron on Facebook. I'm on there too. Twitter, I think, is at MattieC23 as well. And my YouTube is MattieC Sports with 2 T's, IE, not Y. So, yeah, follow me on that. Shoot me a message, whatever, and I'm around. So anybody's always welcome.
And let's plug that South Shore Flyers real quick too. You're trying to get this group going.
Oh, shout out to South Shore Flyers. Me and Anthony McCauley teamed up. He does a lot of Ironman stuff. He's very good with his nutrition stuff. He's good with his running stuff. Follow him on Facebook and also his other social media. And yeah, follow us, man. We're looking for people. Our name is South Shore Flyers, but South Shore of Massachusetts is pretty big. So if you ever want to message us or hit us up, send us a message. We're not a type of running community where it's like, oh, well, you're too slow or you're just in it for a walk. You could be doing a walk for something. You could be doing an ultra marathon, half marathon, 5K, whatever it is. Join the team. That's what we're trying to do. We're non-discriminatory toward anybody. Come join and have fun.
Nice. stuff. And you know what? We're going to get into these topics. He's going to hang around with us. I got a real news clip here. Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School. That's where I graduated from in back in the day in '84. The MassCTE nominee is Elijah Pinney. And this kid looks like he's going places in engineering. So I want to show you guys a quick clip. He's a nominee, so people, we need you to get out there, support this kid, and help him out. This one here, I want to thank, it's courtesy of Easton Community Access Television. Here we go.
Hey everyone, my name is Elijah Pinney, although I go by Eli, and I am a senior in the Engineering Technology program here at Southeastern Regional. MassCTE stands for Massachusetts Career and Technical Educators Organization, and it's a nonprofit that supports people in, advancing their career, technical, and vocational education.
My name is Angela Bass. I am one of 2 engineering technology teachers. I have had Elijah as a student in my engineering classes since the spring of his freshman year. He was a transfer from plumbing.
Throughout the end of freshman year and into sophomore year, I started reevaluating myself, and I realized that I was more of a scientifically and engineering-oriented person as opposed to like the trades. So I decided to make the switch over to engineering. And that was certainly helped by my friends in the shop who fought tooth and nail, I would say, to get me in the shop, because they really, at times it felt like they knew me better than I knew myself. So
Elijah's always been an exceptional student. He intuitively got things. He asked a lot of questions, more so for his own confidence.
I'm going to be graduating with a total of 9 AP and 9 honors classes, and that has certainly been helped by the very tactful direction of all of the teachers in all of those classes. I'm an AP scholar with distinction. I've also achieved a perfect score on MCAS 2022 for biology and 2023 for English.
Elijah, in everything he does, just wants to learn, wants to grow, wants to do better. He is driven and cares so much about how he does in everything, so whether that's track or in the classroom.
The main thing that comes to mind when we talk about extracurriculars for me is definitely track and field. I started in sophomore year doing indoor track and then outdoor track, so I will have rounded out my high school career having done 3 seasons of indoor, 3 seasons of outdoor, and 2 seasons of cross country, varsity, all of them. And that has definitely been, an awesome experience. I've loved every bit of it.
So Elijah has a scar on his shoulder from diving at practice to give a handoff for no good reason. And he still has a lump on his shoulder, and it just shows his dedication to wanting to get everything right.
Well, for one thing, it's given me a greater sense of responsibility. It's allowed me to become a better version of myself. It has also, kind of gave me a renewed sense of purpose, I think, because I can pursue this thing farther and see how far it goes. And the sense of community is just unparalleled. Like, there's so much camaraderie among the teammates that it's amazing. It really is.
He has a way of making kids laugh off their own mistakes because, again, he's just the first one to share his own anecdote about a time that he missed the board or he tripped or did something silly. And
because he has a passion to learn engineering, he perseveres through any tough portions. He sets a goal for himself, and he is intently engaged all of the time.
I plan on going to a 4-year college or university. I plan on pursuing a bachelor's in biological sciences that can hopefully facilitate a career as like a biological researcher. And I also want to do collegiate athletics because, like I said, like track has been a really big influence on me, and I want to see how far it can go.
Eli should be Student of the Year because if there was anyone who embraces being a student more, I would be shocked.
He works exceptionally hard, and I'm so happy that he's getting the recognition that he deserves because he really is a good student and a good person and puts in a lot of effort and puts up with a lot of my gruff.
I've like kind of made it a point, maybe not like outwardly, but I've made it a point in my own mind to just be the best I can be as a student, as an athlete, as all of these things that I do, because you do only live one life. So you have to make the best of it that you can, and ever since I was young, when my parents would be homeschooling me, they'd always, like I said, they would always be talking to me about how important it is to keep on trying, like to never let up, because life's going to be hard, but if you don't have a harder resolve, then it's just going to beat you down,
The passion, conscientiousness, and perseverance are a model career and technical education student.
I'd like to thank my parents, my mom and my dad, Miss Bass, Mr. Cross, Principal Guarini, Miss Kobe, and Mr. Lucier for even considering, me for this nomination and like advocating for me so much. And I'd like to thank all of my friends that have just been, so helpful to me and so kind in this process, and have just really made this experience something worth doing.
All right, we're back here again. That's Easton Community Television. I got to thank them for that clip for Elijah Pinney. He is the Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School MassCTE nominee in engineering. So please make sure to show him some support. Felicia, what's going on? I see you in the chat. Hey, Matt, the wife's in the chat. Ashley's in the chat tonight, hanging out with us.
Thanks for dinner, honey.
Big ups to Ashley. And good stuff, good stuff. Let's see. I think I got one more story in the news booth. Yes, I do. There they are, people. There they are. I already checked with my connection at the RMV, and they're not available yet, but 100 registries across the country right now are fast-tracking these blackout license plates. So what it is, we've had these white license plates for years everywhere. And Minnesota, I think, was the first ones to release this black background license plate with the white lettering. The shit is fire. Minnesota sold out within minutes. Kansas has added it. There are now 100 DMVs across the country now because this is big. For me, I already said it. If this is coming to Massachusetts, Vengeance needs a vanity plate with a black background with the red lettering. I need that. I need that in my life. I need my Patriots vanity plate on my car. I need the black background with the Patriots logo and the Patriot. Look, here's the picture right there for you people. That shit looks fire, bro. That looks fire. Fire. I'm like, yeah. Ashley's already saying hell yeah. and here's why they're doing it. The registry is actually calling this a vanity plate. So you're paying the extra $50 for the vanity plate. People are snatching them up still. Snatching them up. And I'm like, damn.
I'm down.
Shit, get me that plate. Get me that plate. Because I'm ready to go. So, yeah, 100 DMVs and growing. So I'm waiting for like I said, I reached out to my person at the RMV. Said, hey, when they going to announce that, let me know. I don't want to be sleeping on this. Okay. So in the entertainment booth, let me pull up this picture here. I got to thank everybody who showed up and came and showed out for Veana Marie, who was nominated for Best Female Hip Hop Artist of the Year. Yaya Gabbana took home the nods, but there we are there with Remi from Remi TV. Ron Drago and his lovely Tara, she showed up. Big ups to her. Scott Sandinato, Sando Films, he's there in the picture with us. It was a great time, had by all. I got to thank my man Darren, who grabbed his group of guys, and we rolled up to the red carpet with 8 slingshots. So it was great. If you go on Veana Marie's Facebook page and stuff and her subscriber content, you can see some actual videos of us rolling up to the PPAC Center in Providence. It was a sight to see with all these slingshots and getting out and doing the red carpet right. Good stuff. Thank you for everybody supporting that. Also in the entertainment booth, Sinners surpassed Minecraft, took the box office awards home this weekend, $45.6 million. The memes are all over the place about this movie. We went to see it Thursday night, and it's a great movie. This movie will probably be nominated for all types of Academy Awards. Ruth Carter from Boston, who received an Academy Award for her costuming in the Black Panther movie. She's doing the costuming for this film. This was just a great film, all-around great film. that turns into a vampire horror movie halfway through, and it is a good-ass vampire horror movie. Michael B. Jordan playing a dual role as twin brothers. The cast is just outstanding. Anytime I see a movie with Delroy Lindo in it, and for those who know the black actor Delroy Lindo, who is in Clockers, he's been in a ton of movies. If you see Delroy Lindo in the movie, you know the movie's good. You know the movie is gonna be good. So it was a great film. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but make sure to check out and go see Sinners. Later on tonight, 9:30, we have Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast. We are going to be talking about WrestleMania tonight. And you know what? I'm only going to touch base on one story, Mattie, because you talked about mental health. You talk about people achieving goals. You're big on that, correct?
Correct.
And one of the things that I got to mention on this show about WrestleMania, because I want to keep everything on Turnbuckles, I just can't let this one go. For those who didn't know, Lex Luger was one of the biggest stars in wrestling, WCW and WWE. Everybody remembers Lex Luger as this big guy, strong, and he's was wheelchair bound. Lex Luger had been working with Diamond Dallas Page, doing all types of these exercises, doing all of these things. And guess what, people? At the Hall of Fame, Lex Luger was able to get out of his chair and walk to the podium thanks to Diamond Dallas Page. That's some shit right there. So, Matt talks about that mental health, and he gave a hell of a speech, Matt. He got up here and he said that, he wasn't the nicest person in the world. He said that he went from the gutter. He went through this whole thing and said that he didn't think he'd be there for the Hall of Fame because he was a shitty person. And he just kept it real.
Yeah, there was stuff like that with that man. And, DDP saved a bunch of wrestlers' lives. A bunch. All the ones that were having a big amount of trouble, DDP brought them in. So I got a lot of respect for him. As long with Lex, too, I mean, I'm sure he never got over with what happened with Miss Elizabeth. I'm sure that was always in his mind. And, but good for him to get up on the stage. And, when you're a kid, you don't know these behind-the-scenes stuff. So I saw him as this big wrestling star. And glad to see he did good. And like I said, shout out to DDP. He always is helping the wrestlers. Always. So...
And this is a guy who wasn't even a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? This was a guy who worked at a nightclub and he just looked good and people brought DDP in and he just blew up into this guy that was larger than life. So it's just an amazing story for Diamond Dallas Page. So, we talked about this on the show last week on Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor. We talked about the fact that Diamond Dallas Page actually sued Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z came out and was doing the Rock Familia and all this stuff. And Diamond Dallas is like, no, bro. That's my thing. And he sued Jay-Z and won. Yep, he won the case. And Jay-Z, in order to do the Rock, he had to pay. Every time he did it, he had to pay Diamond Dallas Page. So Diamond Dallas Page got paid from Jay-Z every time.
It's funny you say that, Keith. I got in trouble for that. I did the diamond cutter, slammed it to my knee in school. They're like, suspended. I was like, but doing I was a little kid and they was just doing the diamond. It was hilarious, man.
Yeah, I guess it's better than doing the suck it from DX. Because then you would have been expelled. You'd have been really gone from school. Also in the entertainment booth, here's the trailer. I got a trailer for you guys that hit me this week. IMAX, I'm subscribed to, so I get these trailers every now and then. And then I see a trailer and I'm like, yep, I got to share it on the show. This is the newest trailer. So let me give you some background too. Everybody knows Marlon Wayans, the actor. He's known for all of these slapstick comedies, being stupid, being silly. And then in the first season of Bel-Air, Marlon Wayans comes in and he plays Will's dad. He is the character Will's dad on the show. And for those who have seen Bel-Air first season, Marlon Wayans comes in. They go to commercial break because he's Will's dad. And you're thinking, Oh, damn, what are they going to do? They're going to make this stupid. They're going to make this funny. Nope. Marlon Wayans, if you haven't seen it yet, Google it, YouTube it. Marlon Wayans puts on a role that changes his career to what he's doing right now. He can't go back. You Google that and see the scene with him on Bel Air, you're going to say, holy shit, this guy can act. So he is now in this movie called Him. And this movie, Him, is Jordan Peele's latest horror film based on a NFL football player who's entering the draft. And it looks like in the trailer that you're about to see, it looks like there's a concussion issue or something, but this player has a chance to become bigger than life. And he gets an offer from Illuminati, which is now all over social media. Everybody talks about the Illuminati now. You know, everybody says when you see that red and all this stuff. So here's the trailer for it. Check it out. IMAX Him, Jordan Peele. And then we're going to get a little bit of quick discussion to see what everybody thinks about this film. Here we go. Jordan Peele's new trailer, Him.
Do you want this? I said, do you want this? If you want to transcend the game, you have to dig deep. Your mind and your body have to be in sync. Talent is how hard you're willing to work. No days off. No sleep. We grind. I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. That's how great people think. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice? This ain't a fucking game, man. This is everything. Do you want this? What are you willing to sacrifice? You fucking say it! Say it! Say it! Everything! And show me.
God damn.
All right, we're back here in the booth. And your thoughts. I'm gonna let Mattie go because I love horror and I love sports movies. And I don't think I've ever really seen a good sports horror movie. We've had a ton of sports comedies. We've had sports action movies like The Last Action Hero. Not The Last Action Hero. What was that one with Damon Wayans? What was that one where he was the quarterback and Bruce Willis? We had that one. That was an action sports movie. I don't think we've ever had a good horror sports film that looks like. What are your thoughts? Because you were sitting back here like, holy shit.
Bro, I'm like, there's so many like different horror mixed with video game, mixed with like different emotion, bro. I got like Blitz the League on my mind. I got like Any Given Sunday. I got The Program. And then I got like, dude, like that's very vivid and crazy. I would see that shit. That looks pretty fucking intense. And I will say another Marlon Wayans, as similar as it is to not just a comedy guy, Requiem for a Dream is one of his craziest roles out there. Very crazy movie.
I'll have to check that out. Good stuff. But yeah, hey guys, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Also, in the entertainment booth, Toho Group is gearing up in 2032. It's the 100-year anniversary of Godzilla, and this is how Japanese people prepare. They're not like Americans. They don't wait till the last minute. Japan, Toho Films, is already planning $695 million into this 3-year plan heading into the 100th anniversary of Godzilla. They're talking new films, they're talking toys, they're talking video games, they're talking business ventures, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out for business ventures with that Godzilla name on it. I would say the Godzilla of TVs, 100-foot screen in 2032 would probably be coming in the house. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. That Toho Godzilla name, it's a moneymaker. It's a moneymaker. And part of this is going to be the sequel to Godzilla -1, which was a hit movie, probably one of the best Godzilla movies that I ever saw. I actually cried. That's how good Godzilla -1 was. I can't wait. I don't know, Matty, are you a Godzilla fan?
I can't say I am, but I've heard they're making many, many, many big moves, especially internationally. And man, I know Disney and all them people are hungry for that shit, but they ain't gonna give that shit up.
Well, they did. They gave it to Legendary. And so here's what happened. You know,
you know how hungry Disney is, though.
Oh yeah. Years ago, Godzilla they gave to an American movie company, Sony, and Sony blew it. The Matthew Broderick Godzilla film was campy. It was horrible to the point where Toho Films was like, we're never ever letting an American company do a Godzilla film ever again. We're never loaning that trademark out. That's how bad the Godzilla movie in 1991 was. But then when Legendary Films did Pacific Rim with the kaiju, they approached Toho for doing a Godzilla film. And Toho was leery about it because that 91 movie was so bad, but then they decided we're going to let Legendary do it because they saw what Legendary did with Kong. And they were able to bring Kong and Godzilla together with Legendary Films and Toho, and it was a kick-ass. Both of those films were kick-ass films. I can't wait till the third one now. Legendary now has Godzilla on Apple TV, which was really good. So Toho is very happy with what Legendary is doing because for those who know Godzilla in Japan, the Japanese people love Godzilla as an anti-hero. They like seeing a Godzilla that comes in and just wants to kill every human on the planet and just destroy shit. That's the Godzilla that Japanese people are fans of. But then you have another era of Godzilla where Godzilla is the hero. He's cartoon. He's campy. That's the Godzilla that Americans appeal to. So Toho's like, okay, at the end of the day, we're going to get our money here in Japan from our Japanese fans, but then we're going to get this money from Americans now and have that funny, heroic, like, you know, when you go see the Godzilla Kong movie and you see Godzilla and Kong fighting Mechagodzilla and King Kong dislocates his shoulder and he takes his shoulder and rams it on the building, that was a shout out to Lethal Weapon when he dislocated his shoulder and Lethal Weapon and Mel Gibson knocked it back in. That works here. It wouldn't have worked in the Japanese theaters. They would have hated that. They wouldn't have liked that at all. So to see this success, I'm very excited. I'm a big fan of Godzilla films.
I had no idea. This guy takes over theaters for this franchise,
dude. So Godzilla versus Kong came out during COVID, and that was one of the things they did during COVID. It opened up in April, and you could rent the theater out for $20 a person, and you could only have 20 people come in. So when Godzilla Kong opened up, I just paid for it. And then I just invited 20 friends. And we all went to see Godzilla Kong during COVID in an empty theater. And it was the best time ever. Some of the things you miss about COVID. Being able to rent a movie theater for $20 a person.
All the athletes are on break.
It was just a good time.
Yeah,
so also in the entertainment booth, Charlie Wilson has announced his tickets. He will be coming here September 13th. I love Charlie Wilson. I don't miss Charlie Wilson. I'm going to really try to get my tickets to see Charlie Wilson here in Boston in September. Let's get into the sports booth. Here in the sports booth, got to give big ups to Brockton High volleyball coach Jack Olson, who scored his 400th win over Weymouth the boys volleyball team took 5 sets and swept Weymouth. 400th career
they took over our team. Oh man, took over the hometown.
So good stuff. Also, Sunday, Celtics. You know, they come out kind of lackluster in the first half. Orlando Magic's defense was stifling them, but the thing was that the top 3 weren't hitting. They just weren't hitting from the perimeter. They weren't getting inside. And when I like when the Celtics are down. I like when the Celtics are down, but then you say, okay, Jason Tatum hasn't scored this. So-and-so hasn't scored this. And you say to yourself, when they come back out, it's not going to be like that. And they come back out in the second half, and Derek White puts up 7 3-pointers. And then Tatum goes on a tear. Then, once they get going, that's it. They pulled it was like 91 to something. And I'm like, that's a wrap. And you're at the Garden on Patriots Day weekend. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. Orlando Magic's supposed to be the best defense in the NBA, and you just came out in the second half and just killed them.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. You got like a 2008-esque type of bench, man. Rich, White, and like nothing can compare to a 2008 Celtics, but like that bench is just something else, man. Your starters, of course.
Yeah, here's a great example of where you feel bad for Orlando Magic. So you got a guy like Porzingis, who can play the shit out of you, right? So now Porzingis says, okay, I need 5 or 7 minutes, coach. Give me 5 or 7 minutes. Now you bring in a fresh Al Horford. You might as well just put them in jail.
Oh man, oh shit, he can shoot threes. Oh, forgot about him.
And it's like, so what do? You take your number 1 defender off Porzingis and give him a rest, and you're going to put in a number 2 defender against Horford?
Yeah, right.
Because Horford is going to easily clean house on your number 2 and number 3 all day long for the 5 or 10 minutes that he's going to be in for. It's a shame. It's just a shame. And then a guy like Pritchard comes in. He's not a starter. Pritchard is still a bench guy. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I've got the Celtics taking this series real eerie.
Oh yeah.
Horford wasn't happy about the flagrant foul that was called on Tatum. I wasn't happy either. One of the TV guys was saying, oh, I didn't see a flagrant there, but the guy shoved Tatum. Tatum went up, and the guy shoved off and pushed Tatum, and then Tatum hit the ground hard. That's a flagrant all day. I thought it was a great call. I agree with it.
What'd you think of the Jaylen Brown foul?
Which one? Because there were 2 in that game.
At half court.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't happy with
Didn't even touch him. Like, come on now.
I wasn't happy.
And then I want the little thing you have that says sit down.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. You mean this?
Sit down. Hey.
See, I like that when people know when to put shit in. I like it when people want to help produce this show and say, hey, we need to sit down for this one. I just played it for you. Yeah, there are some things, that I think this team will advance. I think they sweep. I don't think they go 5. I think they sweep. I think they sweep the Magic. I think they sweep the Magic.
I don't see them.
I you just have to. They're the best defense in the league. They were the best defense in the league. You got to sweep them, get them out of here, and be ready for the next team and go from there. Last thing in the sports booth, and this is some crazy shit. They've only been around a short period of time. They came here for Brockton, and so me and Mattie tried to get tickets to see this team, Savannah Bananas, come here, and it was like you had to know somebody to get these. This is how crazy it was in Brockton to get these tickets, and I was like, damn, these people are that popular that we can't get tickets in our hometown. And then they came through last year to Fenway, and that was sold out. And they only offered, I think, like 18,000 seats. They only did at Fenway, and there was they could have sold it out. So this year, they're coming back to Fenway. They're selling out stadiums, but now they've got an ESPN contract. ESPN will now have 10 games. So if you haven't seen these guys, it's a great game. But 10 games will now be on ESPN between ESPN, Hulu, and ESPN 2 and 3. I feel like this is something definitely you got to take your kids to. It seems like it's just
100%.
fun event all the way around.
100%. 100%.
Great stuff. Have you still going to try to maybe get to Fenway and bring Sadie and the wife if we can?
I think I've ruined baseball for Ashley forever. Because there was a running joke for years in our relationship where I was like, I got you something for your birthday. And April 23rd, it just so happens the Red Sox were always at home. So I take her to the Red Sox, and I took her to when it was pouring rain watching Bartolo Colon, who was one of the dopest pitchers ever, in the pouring rain, and she came with me. So shout out to her. But that baseball stuff is funny. But I would love to see the Bananas, man, because
the wife's in the chat. The wife's in the chat. She says she's trying to get tickets. She said you guys are on the email list. Savannah Bananas.
Say less.
I think your daughter would probably have a great time there.
Yeah.
She just agreed. She said no more Sox games though, and put no in big capital letters.
Looks like me and you are going.
So no more Sox games, but she'll do a Savannah Bananas game. I think
down.
Sadie would love it. I think Sadie would love it. It seems like it's a lot of fun.
It's sad to know too, Keith, is that the Globetrotters aren't what they used to be, man. When you go see the Globetrotters, it's just not as fun anymore. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, it's not.
And
it's
they play
not
quicker.
What it used to be.
Yeah, they don't even have the whistle song.
Yeah,
the old
Globetrotters
Globetrotters anthem. It's nothing. It's not even there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, actually, I was just whistling the fucking Andy Griffin song. I was just whistling the Andy Griffin song, and as soon as I started whistling it, and then it hit me, and I see Ron Howard walking down the street with the fishing rod. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, that's the Andy Griffin theme. That's not the Harlem Globetrotters. That was pretty funny. Let's get into the legal booth. In the legal booth, Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat, he actually finally went down and met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. I saw a lot of people on my Facebook page, and they come on there and they want to try to get all. It's like, do your homework. I watch a lot of C-SPAN, and when you watch C-SPAN is live from the House and Congress floor. You're not getting lies. You're not getting mistruths. You're getting it right from the horse's mouth. And on this show last week, I talked about how the rumors of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's death started. It started right in the House and Senate. It started right there because when SCOTUS ruled a second time that they need to go get him and retrieve him, Kristen Noem from the DOJ and them, they said, oh, no, we're not, they didn't want to comply. Well, when they didn't comply, that's when SCOTUS and them said, well, then why can't you comply? Is he dead? And that was what people started saying. It started on the House and Senate floors. And that's why Chris Van Hollen actually went down to El Salvador. He met with Kilmar. Kilmar is alive. They shared a couple of drinks of water. But then Hollen says he tried to go to the El Salvador Max prison, and they had a fake roadblock set up and wouldn't let them go, the El Salvadorian police or something. And we all know how they are in these countries. The police are just as corrupt as the cartels. They've got people on the payroll, so we know what's going on there. And, it's crazy to see the El Salvadorian president here with President Trump talking, and President Trump just 2 years ago was saying El Salvador was a shithole country. It's just, all of this stuff is just crazy. But, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is alive. He went to visit him, and now the appeals court judge is now backing Abrego Garcia's case. He is saying that the Trump DOJ's actions brings this. Let me get the quote here correct. They said that it reduces the rule to lawlessness. So the whole thing we're talking about is due process. In other words, you know, as a citizen in this country or as someone on a visa or whatever, or who's in the system, you have due process in the court system. This is when Trump changed this rule and put everybody under this Enemies Act, it changed everything. Well, the way they changed it isn't right, which is why he needs to come back. And then I see a lot of people bashing his wife, because him and his wife had some issues back in 2019. There was a case of abuse, but here we are in 2025. Hilmar Abrego Garcia is in the Smart Apprentice program with the National Builders Union. The National Builders Union came out last week and spoke very highly of him being in the Smart Apprentice program. And granted, hey, he's got to go through the court system to answer for the abuse that he committed on his wife. But his wife right now is standing behind him. So whatever happened between 2019 and 2025, he may have went to whatever programs or whatever he needed to do to get himself clean or get himself straight or to get himself over this abuse. You have to remember these people come from another country where certain things are part of the culture. And that doesn't justify his actions. But, you know, there are some things that happen in other countries that it's allowed because that's part of the culture. You know, so she's fighting fiercely to get her husband home. I see a lot of people talking about her and saying stuff about it. It is what it is. It's their business. So, you know, let this go through what it needs to go through. And we go from there. Now, Mattie, this one here is for you. I got to talk to you about this one. Florida House panel moves forward, and I'm surprised. I would have lost this bet if you told me this was coming from Florida. Florida has now moved forward to offer free medical part cards to veterans in Florida. Now, as you guys know, one of the reasons why marijuana is legal in a majority of states now, we're almost there. We're almost to the federal level of them all. It was the vets. One of the reasons why pot is legal now is veterans. 22 suicides a day from being depressed, getting into that dark place as you talk about. And once veterans were allowed to get pot, the first thing they noticed was it allowed veterans to manage pain. That was the first thing they noticed with the medicinal. And that was, so then they allowed it. And then one of the things they started noticing is there was more and more medicinal uses of pot. They started realizing that even though 22 a day is still bad for suicides, they did notice that the PTSD and these things started to come down for a lot of these guys who were able to use pot. That led to the legality of being able to purchase pot. Just your thoughts and opinion on this, you know, allowing free medicinal pot cards to veterans down in Florida.
Honestly, I agree with it, Keith, just because, you know, these men and women have sacrificed a lot of their mental and all their stuff for us. And, you know, they've seen some really crazy stuff over, whether it be Iraq, whether it be Afghanistan, whether it be in the Middle East, anywhere, even in what's going on in Israel and stuff like that. Like, sometimes if pot helps in this situation, absolutely. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. And, you know, if it's beneficial to a veteran that they need this, by all means. And, you know, I would never want to see a veteran that gets addicted to, you know, and it happens, you know, they get addicted to painkillers and you know, alcohol and different stuff like that. So if pot is something that can help then do all that other stuff, I'm all for it. I agree with this completely.
Yeah, you know, it's a big thing. I'm real happy that the Florida House panel is moving forward with it. You know, a lot of us other states, Massachusetts, you know, we're already ahead of the curve right now, but it's nice to see Florida, which is a Republican state with DeSantis, you know, they're stepping up and they're saying, hey, you know, this is the next step. This is where they need to go. And I like it. I like that a lot. You know, veterans all around need that help, and free medical park cards is
for sure.
Crazy. No, I'm down
for
with
sure.
that. I'll take that any day. Let's get into the Trump Trouble segment. Oh man.
Ooh.
Pete Hegseth, as you guys know, last week, well, 2 weeks ago, Pete Hegseth was under fire because he shared war stuff in a Signal chat that he should have not shared with a reporter. That was a big deal. Now, come to find out, they've been doing their investigation. Come to find out now, he actually cut, copied, and pasted what he put in that chat from a secured server that is classified intelligence. That's number one. So he lied about that. Number two is now, after going through his phone and going through his Signal chat, they've now found that not only did he share that stuff with the people and the reporter, but he also had a second group chat set up in Signal with his wife and his brother, and he shared the same stuff to them. She's not military. His brother's not military. This is a complete no-no. And right now, the word is that the White House has begun the process. They are going to replace Pete Hegseth as soon as they can. This was an absolute waste of time and money. There was, like I said on this show, there was a reason why Hegseth didn't have the proper clearances when he was in the military. He wasn't trusted. He wasn't qualified enough to run the Department of Defense. And you talk to people like Robert Resnick and even Travis Partington, who's a Trump guy. Even Travis was like, "Hey, when you peel the layers back, he wasn't happy with Hegseth. He didn't think he deserved it." Now we're here seeing this. You have any opinions that you want to give on Pete Hegseth now possibly being out of the Trump administration? Mattie said bye. And then here's another one. A lot of people said she shouldn't have been confirmed. Kristi Noem, who's part of this whole immigration sham that's going on. Kristi Noem, who's supposed to be the head of the DHS, guess what happened? She was at a restaurant this weekend for a party for a niece or a nephew, left her pocketbook out. Her pocketbook was stolen. She supposedly had $3,000 in this purse, her passport, and her DHS government credentials. Again, there's a reason why people aren't supposed to be nominated and confirmed, because they're not responsible to hold that. How are you the head of the Department of Homeland Security and you leave your purse unattended when people know who you are in a restaurant? It is.
You can't make this shit up, man. Can't make it up, man.
And there's gonna be people out there defending her and say she made a mistake. People forget. No, not when you're at that position. Not when you're the head of Department of Homeland Security, bro.
Tell me, Keith. How would you feel if you knew you had $3,000 in your purse or your wallet or some shit, and you were like, you wouldn't just be like, "Oh, geez, I forgot my purse full of $3,000."
Bro, if I had $3,000 in my purse and they call me for my food, I'm taking my purse up to get my pizzas and my food. Oh, number 33 is right here. My purse is under my arm. Oh, okay. I'm taking his food.
And it's called, and I'm sure she got the badge that, you can, it springs out kind of thing. Like, bring it back in.
So this story here is probably going to take off also. This is a serious story. I know a lot of people out here are going to say, it's not that big of a deal, Keith. I don't know why you're making a big deal. You have TDS. I don't have TDS. I know about people's jobs and positions and their responsibilities to the American public, and not securing your pocketbook with your DHS credentials and stuff. That's a big deal, bro. That's a big deal. There are some jobs that will fire you for losing your ID, your work ID. There are some jobs that will fire you for that. Some schools will fire you for that, because some people's IDs for schools have them get past the security electric locks. So they'll find you might get one offense. You might get one time to lose your ID if you work in a school system somewhere where but 2 or 3 times you get, you're gonna end up getting fired. They're not playing with that.
Yep.
So I don't know, just crazy stuff. But we're at 8:16. We went a little bit over. William Atwood's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Felicia's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. 9:30, Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast. We're going to be breaking down WrestleMania, but I thought we would just be breaking down WrestleMania, but now we got to break down last night's Raw after WrestleMania, which was just, just too much. And, I can't wait. Other than that, I got to thank my man Matty for coming on the show.
As always.
Good stuff
Anytime.
there. And then let me get into my outro banners for the show. There's the beanies. I always show the beanies even though they're sold out. There's Mattie C up there next to Kevin Jeffries and Oscar Mike Radio's Travis Partington. Good stuff. These are the shows that I produce. Drafting the Circuits, Oscar Mike Radio, MattieC's Sports. We have Fubar Studios, Homeland Heroes Salute, Veana Marie, and then Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor Podcast. And then Monkey Wrench Wellness is another one that I'm also helping produce. Also, You Are the Star Karaoke every first Friday, 7 p.m. I thought I changed this banner. I don't know why that banner is still there. Brockton Beer Company open for lunch and dinner. Kids eat free Monday through Wednesday. 121
Delicious
Main
food.
Street in Brockton. Yeah, they changed the menu.
Delicious.
Also,
yeah.
Emerge Career. This is a program that you saw at the beginning of the show. If you are just getting out of jail, they will help you get your CDL license. Once your case is in, that's a great program. Journey Church in Kentucky, Bardstown. Journey Church is giving out a food pantry from 3 to 6. Sunday, NAP, Wake and Bake, 20% off pre-rolls from 10 to 1. Make sure to go down and check out Natural Agricultural Products. Then my man Boogs, Lionel Boogs Young, Bishop's Training Fitness, Stay Young Fitness Program, every Saturday for kids. It's free. Give him a call. Head down there. And then, hey, this past weekend, thanks to everybody who came out to Kevin's meat raffle that was at Tommy Doyle's to raise some money for Kevin's next fight, Kevin Walsh. And then thanks to everybody coming out for the Remi TV Awards. Veana Marie was nominated. Congrats to Yaya Gabbana for winning it. Then this past weekend was also the Wicked Comic Con. Hopefully everybody took that in and had a great time at that. And hey, April 25th, 3 days. Star Wars Episode 3, 20th anniversary, Revenge of the Sith. Anakin, I have the high ground. I'm gonna keep saying it because that was the part. That was the best part of the film. Anakin, I have the high ground. He didn't listen. He lost his legs. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, unbelievable. Our first annual book and ice cream festival will be taking place at Dr. Ellie Paris's. Save that date. Make sure to show up. I actually went to Dr. Ellie Paris on Sunday. They do crepes, fresh crepes on Sunday mornings. And they do, Maddie, they do a strawberry, blueberry, banana crepe with Nutella.
I'm still on the fence with Nutella, bro. Still on the fence.
Oh, for real?
It's like my mind's still trying to process, like, this is still, like, we can do this, Matt. We know it's good. We just got to put it on more shit as we go.
I love my Nutella, man. I love it.
Although
James
Sadie
Biker
likes
Church.
Nutella, too. Sadie loves it with those little sticks, man.
Oh, yeah. What, the pretzel sticks or the other? Oh.
The other one.
Oh, man. Yeah, Nutella is some good stuff. Steven Montero's golf tournament. As you guys know, Steven Montero passed. And then Jamal Brathwaite, counsel for Ward 6. Hey, if you're running for any office, get your flyer to me and I'll put it on the show free of charge. We are here to make this an open, place for everybody to come and let people know, because I want people to vote. I don't want any excuses for people as to why. Ashley said I'll push him over the fence.
You got to be able to lift me over the fence first.
On Nutella. Yeah. Oh, Ashley said crepes with question marks. Yeah, there's pictures on my Facebook page every Sunday morning from 11 to 2. Fresh, not pre-made, and everything is cut fresh. Strawberries, bananas, blueberries, all cut fresh with a side of bacon. Cheap prices.
Ooh.
It's a bookstore, so you can you can read your books while you're there. But yeah, every Sunday, that's probably going to be possibly my Sunday morning routine now, is going there and getting my crepes on a Sunday morning or Sunday brunch period. And I'm down for it. If you guys want to go, I'm down for it because I love me some crepes. Love me some
Have Ricky Bobby in the crepes.
Yeah, I love my crepes. And then they put whipped cream and chocolate sauce.
Stop it. You can't do this when I'm hungry, bro. It's just not right, bro. It's not right. Now I got to eat something that's not even close to that.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, great stuff. Monkey Wrench Wellness, who I talked about helping get her show off the up and going. Monkey Wrench Wellness is in the chat. What's going on? She's saying hi in the chat, but it's been a good show. Mattie, before we get out of here, just tell them again how to follow you and what's going on, man.
Follow me, MattieC23 on Instagram, MattieC Sports on Instagram, Matt Cameron on Facebook, and MattieC Sports on YouTube. And follow just all of Sinister One Productions. We're all on, Keith already showed it, we're all one family. And I'll be around on MattieC Sports and see my runs and all that. So that's what's up. And keep watching the booth because this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, we're doing some good things. I'm actually doing some things that I can't even talk about now. There's things
that means it's serious stuff, bro.
It's real serious producing stuff that I can't even talk about. I never even thought I would be involved with this realm of producing, and I'm producing it, and I can't even talk about it because I have to protect the person that's involved. But I can say that it's a pretty big deal for me because it's a different realm that I thought I would never get involved in. But it's completely different than some. If you would have told me that Sinister One would be doing this producing, I would say you're out of your mind. I would never. But yep, I'm involved with it, and wow, crazy stuff. Thank you, everyone. Ashley, thank you for tuning in. Monkey Wrench Wellness, thank you for tuning in. We've got Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor coming up. Mattie, you're not a wrestling fan, are you? Did you watch WrestleMania? You're not that big, right? You're not crazy like
bro,
me.
Yeah, I stopped at like when Sting was going out of like WWF type of deal, NWO type of deal. Then it became what it is, like Roman Reigns and all that.
Yeah, it's
and
good
then,
stuff.
And then I stopped, bro.
It's a good time.
I like your show though. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. We talk about a lot of stuff, but tonight we're gonna probably keep it all wrestling tonight because there's just a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh, you guys are staying on till midnight, bro.
Yeah, no, we'll be on for the hour, but there's a lot of stuff that we gotta break down and talk about, and it's just good. It's good stuff. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show, hanging out with us. Did I show? I had a. You know what? I have a picture to show you guys. Hold on, before I get out of here, I forgot to show it. The Remi TV Awards. There's the picture there. I just wanted to show you guys the picture from the Remi TV Awards from this weekend. There we are inside with Remi TV. So I wanted to make sure I was able to show that. And then Remi TV had a cipher with some rappers from Rhode Island. She did a male cipher and then a female cipher. And I want to be able to get those and put those in the appetizer. And again, it's good stuff. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show and watching the show and support. And that's about it. That's about it, man. Going to be back around. When's your next run, Mattie?
Good question. That will be next month, May.
Mother's Day, right?
Is it Mother's Day weekend? Yes, May 18th, Monday. Rhode Island half marathon in Providence, Rhode Island. Beautiful.
And that's the one you're
out there.
That's the one you're running in the honor of your mom for the breast cancer, correct? I want to make sure we get that right.
My mother is a 2-time cancer survivor, so she's a big fighter, so I'm fighting for her that day, and I fight for her every day, but love you, Ma, and I'm racing for you that day.
All right, so good stuff, everybody. Want to make sure you all support. If you want to follow Matty, he just gave out his links and all that stuff, so you want to make sure to support him. If somebody wants to reach out to you and support your cause, they can pretty much just, like you just said, through your social media?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Any
so
of
if anybody out there, you want to reach out to Matty, jump on that, and it's great stuff. We got to get ready to get out of here. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I make it, keep this shit on repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, but y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, it's like I'm my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.